A little fun fact about me, my parents say my first word was the word dad. But what they don't know is my first thought was you can't take niggas nowhere. Because for my entire life, niggas have let me down. And I'm finna tell you about the most ghetto shit I've seen niggas do, but just peep game and lock in real quick. When I was a sophomore in high school, my school district started this new thing where they would bring all the black kids in the district on these field trips to expose us to different career paths. AKA, they were trying to get niggas to stop gangbanging. And I went to an all-white school, so a lot of white people were like, that's not fair. Imagine if we went on white people-only field trips. So a day before our field trip, our black supervisor pulled us all in a room, and he told us a lot of people think our field trip is unfair, so you guys need to be on your best behavior. The very next day at 8 in the morning while we're on the bus, before we even left for the field trip, niggas are arguing if the light-skinned people deserve to be on the field trip. You can't take niggas nowhere. I'm just thinking, what are we doing? But then we get to the field trip and it's at this lawyer firm. None of us wanted to be fucking lawyers, so we were all damn near asleep during the field trip. But when they said it's lunchtime, every nigga woke up. The people running the field trip, they're like, there's too many of y'all, so we're gonna split you guys up into groups. If your birthday is in January, get up and go get yourself some pizza. Tell me why everybody but me and 3 other black kids stood up. You mean to tell me every single one of them niggas was born in January? No, you can't take niggas nowhere. For some reason, whenever I tell a story about when I used to get whooped, that video gets 2 million plus views. I don't know why y'all are like this, but I'm about to tell y'all the most pointless ass whooping I ever got, but just peep game and lock in real quick. This happened when I was in 6th grade, and for some reason, me and my brothers were using a lot of toilet paper. I don't know if those niggas had Bang Bros subscriptions during the time, or if they were on straight laxatives, but we were going through a pack of toilet paper in like 3 days. And one day my dad's like, y'all gotta stop using this much toilet paper or I'm gonna stop buying it. And we're like, that's a strange punishment. We're your sons. You want us to be some crusty booty ass niggas? But for a good while, we stopped using a lot of toilet paper. But one day my dad got home from work and he's like, boys. We immediately ran upstairs. He's like, who used all this toilet paper? As soon as I walked in there, I'm like, what the fuck happened in here? It looked like Helen Keller was in the toilet playing around. Hella toilet paper in that bitch. So I looked at my little brother. He said he didn't do it. I looked at my older brother. He said he didn't do it. And I know for a fact I didn't do that shit. So one of them niggas was lying. But for some reason, I was feeling like Tony Stark that day. And I was like, Dad, I'm the one who used the toilet paper. He sent my brothers to their room and whooped the shit out of me. He was whooping me so bad, I was hearing Rick Ross grunts between slaps. And the craziest part is I didn't even do it. My biggest tip to anybody going to college in the fall is do not force friendships. College is 4 years long. It is as long as a Donald J. Trump presidency. Half the people you meet, you're never gonna see again, so don't force that shit. And I'm finna tell y'all how I cut off the first dude I met in college, but just peep game and lock in real quick. My first day of college was August 2020. It was in the middle of the fucking pandemic. So me and one other dude moved in on the first day of school. Me and him started talking. We both liked basketball and 2K. So me and him was cool as fuck. He told me the next day his homies from high school were finna come. So I met them and I was cool as fuck with them for a couple months. And one day we were bored as fuck, so we went to TJ Maxx. And my homie that I met on the first day, he saw these Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle socks. And he kept talking about how they're so cold and how he wanted to buy them. And we're all like, nah nigga, you a little too grown for that shit. That shit low-key cartoonish as fuck. But he said, fuck it, I'ma buy it, and he ended up buying them socks. When we got back to our dorm, the first thing he did was put on those socks. But like 5 minutes later, he kicked us out the room. So I told all my homies we can slide in my room. And when we're in my room, one of my homies who went to high school with dude, he gets a call from a girl who is a junior in high school. She said, why did your friend FaceTime me with his meat out wearing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle socks? As soon as my homie got off that call, I told him, I don't know if that's what y'all do out here in Illinois, but back in Minnesota, we don't really do that shit. And I cut Buddy the fuck off. Me and the other niggas, we still cool though.
I'm the type of guy, I think we should normalize everything. I got gay homies, they deserve love too. Normalize gay marriage. I got homegirls who never want to have kids. Normalize access to abortions. But one thing y'all not finna sit here and normalize is high body counts. Because y'all know humans are fucking mammals. We're supposed to build intimate connections. Y'all are out here fucking like insects, fucking like bugs. That shit is disgusting. My homie texted the group chat 20 minutes ago, y'all weren't lying. I sent 2 question marks because I haven't been in the group chat in a couple days. I didn't know what they're talking about. Seconds later, another one of my homie gonna text. This nigga gonna say, Ben told you. Less than a minute later, everybody is in the group chat texting. They all agreeing with him talking about type shit. So I sent a call because I was feeling left out. They're all talking about, yeah, Vontae hit Alyssa. And I'm like, y'all niggas are disgusting. Because they met this girl the day the semester started. The day after Martin Luther King Jr. Day. All 5 of my homies in the group chat have been inside that. And at this point, I don't know who to slap. Because how does one girl manage to run through a whole friend group in 1 semester? That's gotta be the most greedy shit a woman's done since Eve ate that damn apple. And I don't even know what to say to my homies. I don't even want to say it's disgusting. That shit is unacceptable. I'm the type of nigga, I won't even share straws with somebody. These niggas are out here taking down the same girl.
Did y'all ever get beat by your parents so bad that you started to think some shit's gotta change? I'm finna tell y'all about when that happened to me and my brothers, but just peep game and lock in real quick. When me and my brothers were little over the summer, we never had a babysitter. My parents just had 2 rules. Never go outside and don't open the door for anybody. One time my mom said don't open the door even if you see Jesus. But as we got older, we started noticing patterns. My parents used to go to work at 7 in the morning and get home at 3:30. So that meant we could go outside at 8 in the morning and we just had to be inside by 1 to play it safe. So one day we're outside on our balcony and me and my brothers, we're playing monkey in the middle. And my brother gonna throw the t-shirt on the roof. So we're like, fuck, bro, go get the shirt off the roof. So my brother, he jumps on the table, then climbs on the roof. As this nigga is getting down, tell me why my mom pulled in the driveway. It wasn't even close to 3, it was like 12:30 or some shit. So me and all my brothers, we ran in the house. My mom said, what did I tell you guys about going outside? She whooped us like if white people found out about the Underground Railroad. Damn near the ass beating of a lifetime. And 30 minutes later, my dad come home. This nigga didn't even say hey, he just took off his belt and started whooping us. So in less than an hour, we got our ass beat twice. So after our dad beat our ass like that, we're in the room crying, sniffling and shit. And my little brother's like, nah, something's gotta change. We gotta go on strike. So later that night, me and my brothers were talking and we're like, you know what? We're not gonna talk to mom and dad until they stop whooping us. So that next morning, me and my brothers were eating cereal like we do every morning. My mom walks in and she says, good morning. We looked at our mom and went right back to eating our cereal. We didn't say a word. And just because my mom's a nurse and I don't want her to lose her license, all I'm going to say is she beat us so bad that it looked like a scene out of Invincible. We ain't never trying no shit like that again. Have y'all ever heard somebody say something so fucking dumb that you start to think maybe everything's not okay up here? Perhaps the brain isn't as developed as it's supposed to be? Because yesterday my homie told me he got pulled over by the police and almost got shot. And I'm like, damn nigga, what happened? He said he got pulled over and the police asked for his license and registration, went back to the car and were taking a while. And he said he wanted to see what the holdup was, so he got outside the car. He said as soon as he did that, they started screaming, put your hands up. And I'm like, nigga, what? You are dark skinned, 6'4", and 270 completely dry. What the fuck were you doing outside the car? You know them boys really kill niggas, right? My homie talking about, nah, they just racist. I'm like, yeah, nigga, probably. So what the fuck were you doing out the car? And the craziest part is that's probably not the dumbest shit he did yesterday. Me and him watched the entire first season of Invincible yesterday, and he gonna say this shit sucks, how come he never uses his power? I'm like, bro, what? He flies through buildings and beats niggas half to death, how does he not use his power? He gonna say, how come he never go invincible to the naked eye? I'm like, nigga, you mean invisible? He talking about, oh shit, I'm dumb as hell. And I almost said, no shit, my nigga. Because there's no way he saw this title screen and thought the nigga was finna disappear. Y'all know when a lion sees a fat person like Rick Ross, they don't see a human, they see meat. That is what the pee industry has done to a lot of y'all brains. Y'all don't see women no more. Y'all see butt. And this shit is getting too crazy, but just peep game and lock in real quick. Today, me and my homie were at the library at 9 a.m. And me and him, we're just talking. We haven't even started studying yet. Out of nowhere, this girl walks by, and I'm not gonna say she's thick as fuck because I don't want to sleep on the couch tonight. But she was built like quite the woman. And me and my homie, we're talking face to face. As soon as he sees her, nigga turn his head like this. I didn't even see him move. As soon as she goes to sit down, this nigga gonna say, damn. I'm like, nigga, you're stuttering over butt? That's low-key crazy. And for the next 5 minutes, he wouldn't shut up about how thick she was. This nigga talking about, Brian, you wouldn't know what to do with all that. That's the type of ass niggas was fighting in wars about. This nigga even said, I'm pretty sure her ass waved back to me. My nigga, what are we talking about? But after that, we studied for like a good 2 hours. This nigga gonna get up and say, I gotta go say something. So we walked over to her, nigga came right back. Bro sat down talking about she said she got a boyfriend. I'm like, damn bro, that sucks. At least you were man enough to say something to her. This nigga gonna say I could barely keep my eyes up. My nigga, she was sitting down. That shit has fried his brain. Code switching is when you take the way you talk or communicate and change it up. And historically, black people gotta be better code switchers because anything that has been deemed as black has been deemed as unprofessional. Like if I'm around my homies and they say something I agree with, I'd be like, oh yeah, type shit. But if I'm at work, I can't say that. I gotta be like, oh yeah, Lindsay, I agree. I have to keep the melanated behavior to a bare minimum. But I'm gonna give you guys a great example of code switching, but just peep game and lock in. Every 6 months at my job, I have to have a meeting with my boss. Yesterday, I had the meeting with my boss. The first thing she gonna say is, are you ready to peep game and lock in? Mind you, my boss is this little white lady. So I'm like, what? You know about my TikTok? She gonna say, yeah, you're so funny. I've never heard you say the N-word before. I'm like, N-word? That's what you took away from my videos? But I'm at least glad you found them funny. She gonna say, yeah, why aren't you this funny at work? And when she said that, I almost reached in my back pocket and grabbed my firearm. Because 2 years ago at the same job, I'm talking to one of my black coworkers about the NBA. I said, that nigga Steph Curry is not clutch. My boss gonna come around and say, can you guys not use slang around the customers? I'm like, sure, yeah, but what slang did I use? She said, yeah, the word clutch could mean, clutching a gun. And I'm like, what? Why would I be talking about clutching a gun on the sales floor? So as soon as she said that, I stopped being my black ass at work. From the hours 9 to 5, I became the white man.